What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 7 of the Apex Destiny podcast. You can find out more about us on our Discord. The link is down below. We also have links to our YouTube, where you could find all of our podcast content, as well as our links to our individual Twitter handles. Just a heads up, the Apex Destiny podcast will not be live next Sunday. We'll be back September 15th at 8 p.m. We all got things going on next week. Well, mainly just me, but some catch-up things for the clan as well. So what's going on, guys?
Yo, another
Not
week.
much. Hello. Welcome
Episode
to
69.
Okay.
What's going on tonight? This week. What's this week's topic?
Well, this week's topic is it's going to be a 3-parter. We're reviewing year 2. And tonight is part 1. It's going to be Forsaken. So yeah, first let's kick it off with some of the TWAB stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pull
Anybody
it
have-
up.
Yeah, I didn't read too much into it. I know the changes are coming though.
Well, the big news was really the season pass, which was a separate thing. Again, penned by Luke Smith for us. Basically just explaining the new way that seasons are going to work, which I, for one, think looks awesome.
What do you mean, man? It's pay to win.
Yes, you have to buy the content. That's it's pretty pay to win right there.
Sometimes it just be that way.
We'll have to see what it's like at the end when people can buy catch-up ranks. That's going to be a little weird, but it's a slippery slope. If they continue to add more things to the catch-up ranks, and the catch-up ranks are really expensive, I could see it going south very quickly, but it would have to be pretty bad to get that far south. You would have to be able to consistently buy ranks to consistently get different rolls on weapons. Because as it is, you're going to have to do the actual content to get the roll that you want anyway.
True.
So it shouldn't be
Very
bad.
Very Fortnite-y though, right?
No, not
From what I
really.
saw?
I don't think that we should be giving Fortnite credit for inventing season passes, because it's really just a reward track. A lot of people
It's almost like they did this before, back in Rise of Iron, 6 months before Fortnite even released.
they did. That's sarcasm, in case you can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
/S for those unable to tell. Big /S.
And the hotfix though. That I felt like was the other big thing, right? From Reset.
The
2.5.2.2.
Oh yeah, the new stuff that's coming out on 9.3. Yeah, that'll be nice. I, for one, am looking forward to grinding out a few different things, like a lone survivor with firing line. Bucket and I are kind of hoping that snipers become meta again, and then that would be a nice triple tap with firing line. Would be a pretty cool boss weapon to use.
Have we even had a sniper meta in D2?
I think the closest we have gotten would be like Whisper.
Wait, that was a pretty big meta.
But it was one gun, and that was only because it could infinitely shoot.
Yeah. I don't think we've had a single sniper meta in D2. D1 is where you would be silly to use anything other than a sniper in PvE. But that's because they were only slow firing shotguns.
No rapid fires.
Yeah, we had nothing quite as ridiculous as the Ikelo shotgun that we have now in D2. Just rapid fire all over the place.
Yeah, it makes sense. I did one D1 raid, and I really enjoyed using snipers in that a lot. So I am hoping that they bring that back. I would just wish that they'd roll out more of the sandbox changes this week, instead of making us wait and then having to level up. I guess I really just want more information about what's coming with Shadowkeep. What are they changing? What should we be doing to prep? That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited to farm a spare rations.
Yeah.
I know that the changes are coming.
I want a spare rations, whatever that Hungarian auto rifle is, that sniper rifle. That's about it, I suppose.
You don't want a Doomsday?
I mean, I'll take a Doomsday, but I don't need a Doomsday.
You'll farm for Doomsday, especially if they come out with like they actually change the damage between the different archetypes.
Well, they're not changing grenade launchers. It's been confirmed. So
Did they say they're not nerfing them?
I suppose they did say they're not nerfing. I would have to review what he said to see if they're not doing anything to it.
Yeah, because maybe they're gonna buff 120s, and then Doomsday might be the way.
Maybe. Not gonna make too much of a difference. We'll see though. I don't think there was anything else noteworthy in the TWAB. It was mostly just
not really.
Event,
no.
PAX. Yeah, that's about it.
They're like already. I guess when people were at PAX, you were allowed to do 3v3 elimination. That's pretty cool. Super excited for that.
Yeah, except the maps are meh.
Well, we're getting two of the maps that they use for trials pretty frequently, so
yeah, I'm not
just no original content, I guess. So that's kind of sad.
Not looking forward to how people are gonna be playing on those maps. It's already like way too annoying playing with snipers on PC. It's just like so easy, and I've tweeted about it a bunch, but it feels like playing like a top 500 tracer player from Overwatch. Like I have to AD crouch spam, which is like hitting the AD keys to like go side to side and add like crouches in those as well to like not get domed. And I'm playing against average players at best, and super easy with the beloved to hit a headshot.
Yep.
Not looking forward to 3v3 elimination where that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see 3 glinting lights back at you at the start of the match.
Yeah, I mean that's how trials always was, for the most part. It was always campers, especially in the beginning, and then you have your rushing teams as well. It also depends on the map. For like Widow's Court, yeah, I could definitely see that like every game.
Yeah.
Just don't play PvP. Easy solution.
Just play like mindless apes.
It's fun though.
I think they know that they're gonna have to change the meta quite a bit for people to enjoy PvP. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
All right, well, since the TWAB is kind of lackluster again, let's go right into it. So what'd you guys think of Forsaken when it initially dropped?
Oh.
You guys remember that hype train?
Oh, I remember.
We had a summit beforehand, and then
yeah, we got Gambit. Oh, Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a specific, or is this just in general? Forsaken was kind of pointless, says Boba. Well, that's an interesting thought.
What is it?
Literally
what do we
brought
call
the
that
game
face?
back.
What do we call that?
What?
We call that a wee
wee woo. I recently learned what a wee woo means. Yeah. I remember I took off the entire week to play it, and I messed up my character leveling so bad because I did each character to the Dreaming City, and then I didn't unlock the Dreaming City until I had all my characters there. It was just a mess. Overall, it was a ton of fun though. We had the new weapon changes. I think we'd already had those for a week at that point, but we had to work. We didn't really get all the new stuff in the armor rolls until then.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Forsaken was pretty fun. The things I didn't like about Forsaken was like how awkward the transition felt. Like you start off with the Tangled Shore, and that makes perfect sense, and then you're just like whiplash. Hey, you're actually going to the Dreaming City, and you're never going to the Tangled Shore again. Like you just did all this campaign stuff, and
I would
I don't
have
know.
liked, yeah.
I would have preferred like the Tangled Shore to have been smaller if that's how they were gonna do it, because you get the impression even now when you just like drop down at the Tangled Shore that there's things to do, but there really isn't. Like
There aren't enough
there's no point going
different.
back.
Like I know they have three different public events there, but it really feels like it's just the same one with different enemies, and it's kind of just bleh.
Yeah. Other than that, I remember trying to get the day one clear of Last Wish and just having the shittiest team. That was not a fun experience. Like 14 hours of some crazy ass shit for the first
Yep.
encounter. Still couldn't beat it.
We got stuck on Churro.
We'll get there. What did you guys think though it did for the game? Because there was a big issue with Destiny 2, especially with Vanilla, and then I'm gonna say the Osiris DLC. It was not trending towards the right direction.
Yeah, a lot of people
A
didn't
lot
like
of people were upset, and they reintroduced a lot of things, I should say, from the old game back in, and I don't know. It was super. I've never been excited to grind a game as much as I was for Forsaken. I feel like because when that grind came around for 2 weeks before that raid, we were all going in every day for crazy hours.
Yeah, that was a.
It was
I don't
looking
know.
back. It kind of like sucks that it took so much time to grind out those levels, but at the same time, like the grind was back. That's something that was missing for such a long time in the game. You know?
I've never really been one of those like, oh, the grind, hurrah. But that's a different topic entirely. I don't remember it. Like, obviously, it really helped the game. I don't personally remember that because I was already playing the game a ton anyway, and I
Do you
enjoyed it
think
a
it
lot
fixed
anyway.
Destiny?
It brought its own issues. I think that the weapon system fix was a good try, but too haphazard. And I'm really hoping they get it right with D3 because they're not going to fix it in D2. To fix Destiny, it definitely was a good pivot. It was a good pivot from the we're going to be a competitive shooter with slow PvP that people can get engaged in. No one liked that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they understood what their identity was in D1, and then when they tried to move to D2, they tried to add more to that. So like you were saying, try to get more into the competitive side of like PvP and try to like cater to that crowd. But really, I think if you still think that Destiny will ever be that type of game, I think you're quite delusional at this point. And I think Bungie has kind of made peace with that, with like how their overall attitude of PvP is, and the community has always felt that PvP is what has kept the game alive for so many years, but it's kind of untrue. Even when Trials was its most popular, it was just on Twitch. That was the content that had the most viewers. So that wasn't what the majority of the player base was playing. That was just what the majority of the Twitch viewers, which is a small subsection of the community, the Destiny community, was watching. So kind of statistically wrong that PvP is what has carried Destiny throughout its almost 6 years now.
I don't remember how did Forsaken affect PvP a lot? I know that we suddenly had shotguns and snipers, although I believe that was back when no one
It
used
changed
snipers.
it for sure. It made it more like D1.
Made it
That's when they
way
introduced
faster.
like 3 tapping with the hand cannons came back with
Oh
Forsaken.
yeah,
Yeah, like
I completely
all
forgot
that.
about that.
You could
Yeah.
actually use special weapons. They weren't
Mm-hmm.
trapped in the heavy slot.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Definitely changed like the metas big time. Like you didn't see you haven't seen Uriel since. So
Yeah, because who thought? I don't know who thought that hand cannons only being able to 4-tab was a good idea.
So I'm gonna kick it off with I do think this is the best expansion to date. So
Well, are you comparing it to like Rise of Iron expansions, or is the only comparison to
in Destiny 2?
is the only comparison to like King's Fall?
I guess
He's saying just D2, so out of
like DLCs. I guess it's really the only true expansion, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is just a DLC. But I think it's the best content we've gotten, including vanilla D2.
It added a lot. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So what do you guys like about Forsaken? Your favorite things? Either game modes, additions to the game, whatever.
I'll let you go first, Legion.
the entire change of the weapon system. Biggest change right there. Moving the main heavies to the special slot. Except we still don't have the swords in the special slot, even though they should be.
100%.
Face, is your turn to say Gambit.
Okay, I liked Gambit, but my favorite thing that they... Okay, first of all, Moriarty, you're wrong. Gambit is not terrible. My favorite thing that they added from...
Just say it.
Nothing Left to Say. That story mission, the last story mission, where we traversed the last bit of the Tangled Shore. We fought our way across it. We fight our way to the watchtower that opens up the Dreaming City. And then we get to go fight Aldrin, and you've got that whole Mara cutscene. That whole thing was just phenomenal. Actually, my favorite thing that came into the game with Forsaken.
I don't know.
It wasn't Gambit.
I think the overall missions up to that point were pretty good too.
Oh, for sure.
Like some of those, like my favorite of the Barons was the Hive one, and of course, yeah. Unfortunately, we never go back to them, so I've forgotten his name, but I remembered it for a while. Yeah, I think so.
No,
like,
yeah, that was
whole
good.
Fight was like really cool. Except now that we're like mad overpowered, you could just one punch them.
Oh, I love the whole introduction to the Dreaming City. First getting in to see that stuff. The hints that Mara was actually an Ahamkara was fantastic. Just the whole thing was great. A close second would be Gambit. Gambit is great game mode that they
close second. We all know it's really his first.
No, I'm serious. I still go back and play Nothing Left to Say every time it comes up on the daily story missions.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna say I liked them at first, but bows were really cool when we first launched.
Bows are so cool.
Bows are still cool.
They're just
shit. Suck though. Yeah, like make them good, and people would like.
You can't
really love
make them good without nerfing everything else. Everything else kills.
So then do it.
That even though bows are already a one hit, like they would need to be a one hit in Crucible, and I have no idea how the fuck that would go.
Yeah.
You need to nerf everything else to make bows worth using.
I feel like if you make a bow like a one-shot headshot in Crucible, it's bullshit because it's faster. It's faster and more accurate, I'm gonna say, than a sniper.
It's definitely not faster than a sniper.
No, more accurate than maybe. I don't know. It feels cheap that way.
I mean, okay, the lowest innate draw time a bow can get is like 620, I think, 600 on the lightweights. That's the same time to kill as like a Recluse. So I don't know. I don't think it would be that bad. We already have. I just got sniped between a tiny little corner by someone with a Tatara's Gaze. Like, one shots are in the game and they're abundant. I don't know why we can't just make bows that. But then you can't buff them in PvE because it doesn't matter how much damage.
So what you're saying is because there's one shots from across the map, you want more?
You're not going to get that same type of accuracy with a bow that you have with a sniper to do those insane things. They're basically
point with that.
Precision fusion rifles. I don't know. There's no good way to balance them. I don't. The game's just too weird right now for bows. So I'll keep using them for fun, but never
The
gonna
real
actually use
answer is to just get rid of PvP.
Poof.
them. Yes.
I don't know about that, man.
Make it like Warframe's PvP. It's technically there, but everyone's like, no, it's not there.
I don't know if I would get rid of PvP, man. I like it just for something to do.
Add more Gambit.
Have you heard of Reckoning?
Oh, Reckoning is bad.
Give me more Gambit, get rid of PvP. Bam.
Tell Jenny I said hi, please.
We saved the game. We did it, boys.
Jenny Weasley?
Jenny Weasley. So, did you guys like the addition of Gambit?
Yes.
It's okay.
I'm in love with it.
If it makes other people happy.
I understand why people dislike Gambit a lot. And I think that and Dado actually says the same thing. The issue with Gambit is less in the game mode. It's a really cool game mode. It's just that the meta is so fucking weird in Destiny. Like,
Yeah, just
now that we have heavy ammo with LMGs, that and people wanted LMGs back. I don't know why.
And people wanted like slower LMGs too. Like the new ones that we just got. They wanted the slow ones because they were so strong in D1. Except now they suck. They suck the hard peen.
Because they gave it a 21% damage not nerfed bosses. Of course they suck. I don't know why they did that either. Yeah, no one understands the balance in this game. I don't even think the devs understand the balance sometimes. But yeah, Gambit's not that bad. It's just, if you're playing solo, people freak out about invaders. And they freak out so bad. Like, if you just sat in the well and shot 2 more grenades at the Primeval would die before the invader gets to you. But instead, they all run away. And it's like, oh, stop.
Legion.
I could talk
Are you
about
still playing
for a while.
Gambit?
Fuck no.
Yeah,
Huh.
give me both.
I got the Reckoner seal and I said, "See you, dog.
I didn't even want it.
Peace."
I don't care that much. See, I don't understand. I just don't understand the appeal for it because a lot of people like play this game just for Gambit. And I'm like, why?
People, for some reason, are like, "Oh, I like
told you that?
raids. Raids are fun."
There's an audience out there, aren't they? Trying to make it like MLG, which is really stupid to me.
I don't think that exists.
Who, Face and his three sisters?
Face. He's leading it.
It's like me and Zed, and I think that's it. No,
If they can't even get the sweaty community in PvP to any like high tournaments or anything like that, there's no fucking way they're getting Gambit anywhere.
Do you think they can make it better?
I think they're just gonna leave it as is.
I think they could make it better.
They'll do a little bit of things along the way. It's
really going to depend on the meta. If they need to, so many people complain about an overabundance of invades. I don't really understand that. A good invader can definitely hold your team back, but a good invader is going to be shut down by a half decent team.
Well, like the annoying part with the invaders is like as soon as you kill them and they respawn, they can run from their spawn, and if the new portal isn't opening up when they reach it, it's 2 or 3 seconds behind them. That's a little cray cray.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't want to talk too much about Gambit Prime because that's going to be later on down the road. But if you did have to pick one of the 2 modes, which one are you going with?
I would go with Breakthrough.
Breakthrough is not Gambit, right? So why?
I would do Gambit. I much prefer Gambit Prime, but Prime is way more limiting. Gambit's like the go in and just chill game mode. Like, there's tons of ads to kill. There's a little bit of PvP if you're feeling it. You know, it's fun. Prime is like, okay, I got to throw on my set.
Fat boss rush at the end.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm not a fan of Prime, actually. I do like the change now that if you go to a third round in regular Gambit, it's not like a whole nother round.
I would prefer to have that in the second round. That'd be dope. And if you end up a tie after that second round, then making it even crazier third of that same thing. That'd be pretty redonk.
I like the way that Gambit provides a good horde mode, which is not something that we have anywhere else. Don't mention the forges because they're shit. So I would want to keep that part. I understand people not liking the whole invaders and whatever. So maybe we need to do some work on that.
If you guys could change one thing, what would it be?
Fucking remove LMGs.
From Gambit?
For something or Gambit?
Just
for Gambit.
Invading if you invade, you should not be able to use your heavy weapon, and while the other person's invading, everyone on the team being invaded should not be able to use their heavy.
To limit some heavy. All right. Legion, you? Anything?
I would kind of change the entire invade mechanic, make it way more like if you're gonna give all these abilities to the invader, there should be a trade-off, not make it so brain dead easy like it is now. I would even kind of like to see them being able to use enemies, like we already throw the blockers over, but then they can have where the invader also can use enemy AI to help them. That'd be kind of cool.
Awesome.
Or just press delete on the whole mode.
I would just remove the whole game mode from the game.
Just because you're bad at it doesn't mean it doesn't need to exist.
Then I hope they remove all of Destiny then, if that's how this works.
How hard is it? You just slap on grenade launchers and just sit in a fucking rift.
Delete Gambit. It's my campaign for 2020.
Just sit in a rift and just pound the left button. Easy
Gambit's
peasy.
less engaging but more fun than raids.
I don't know about more fun than raids.
Raids are so boring. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, after you freaking did Last Wish 100 times, then yeah.
Yeah. But I've played 300 Gambit matches this season and I'm still having fun. It's only 285, but still.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
All right. Moving forward now.
Leviathan? Gambit is more fun than everything in Leviathan except for dog. It's not more fun than dogs.
Did you enjoy the story in Forsaken?
It's okay. I don't play Destiny for the story.
I don't think any of us do.
Smash escape through that.
Yeah. No, I thought actually though for an actual storyline, it was intriguing. It wasn't like I wanted to press escape every cutscene, I was actually interested.
Oh.
And obviously they killed off a main character too, so
thank God.
That drew some interest. I guess I could do with or without Cade. It really didn't affect me as much as I thought it would, maybe. But I thought it set up a pretty good story for them. And hey, our Guardian said words again.
Yes, I still go back and watch the Forsaken story trailer whenever I'm like, do I want to play Destiny? I'll watch that, and I normally get hyped enough to play Destiny.
That's hot.
Very. I mean, it's so good. Especially, like I said, the way that it tied into the Dreaming City, which then led to Shattered Throne, or Last Wish, which led to Shattered Throne. I love all that. That's great. And if they're going to be able to do more of that this next season, or this next year because of the way that seasons are going to work, oh yeah, I'm buying all those. I mean, I already bought them all. I'll buy them again, maybe.
Heard.
I like the way they're going with the story for sure. Go ahead, Legion. You have something to add?
Yeah. Heard.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
You said bring the boss fights back in the Twitch chat. Yeah. I think that's going to be really cool about Shadowkeep with the
The haunted people.
The nightmare
haunted
hunts.
things. Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
So, I was going to ask too here. You think the future of Destiny should have these story type DLCs, right? Like Forsaken was, and I guess Warmind had some, and Osiris? Or do you like the way they're kind of going with the annual pass, the way they're kind of telling story through the content?
I definitely want more actual stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want just whatever that shit we had in Forges was.
Yeah.
Even if it's
I'm on board.
even if it's just the simple stuff like the Invitation of the Nine stuff, that was pretty good. I would settle for that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
With Forsaken, there was just like way too much collectible stuff that you had to read.
Too much in the lore. Maybe. I did like the whole, like, what's it called? Dreaming City changing, and then kind of getting like a little bit of the snippets of story throughout that with Mara and all that.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they'll be
that
doing
like
more.
feels like a living, moving story rather than just play this content once, never play it again kind of thing, which is really cool. So I kind of like, I'm with you, Face. Like I definitely want, like I hope we get some like big chunk of story for like the big expansions, like probably we will be getting for Shadowkeep. But then I also hope they like go along with, you know, the evolving world story, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, they're going to be getting rid of things, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But
What
no,
do you mean, like content itself?
yeah, content, the story, all that. It's going to be interesting. But definitely, the Forsaken story, at the very least, was probably the best story we've gotten so far in D2 and out of what I know of D1. Although I think
Yeah, in
Taken
terms
King
of like
might
a
have been better.
story from like a DLC from like A to Z, like you had an actual storyline.
Well, and they got
Like,
they got rid of Cade, which was fine.
yeah,
And then they added
you were
they added
loving it.
Aldrin, and oh man, he was a great character in that series. I mean, you thought you knew why he was doing well, you had no idea at first, and then turns out, you think that that's Mara, and then it turns out it's actually a wish dragon.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
I laughed, I cried, it moved me, Bob.
I remember that cartoon, Dragon Tales,
No, oh my god,
the Wish
no.
Dragon.
I don't actually know what you're talking about at all.
Sir.
Well, yeah, Rex just said, I guess he's coming back. We don't know when they're gonna like insert him into the story because it doesn't look like it's gonna happen now, right?
I
Maybe.
don't
Like,
know.
they could probably get him in there, but I feel like it's so focused around Eris more now. I don't know if they're gonna even get him involved.
Well, that's part of what's going to make this hopefully a good story. Is we have all these floating pieces, and if they have a little more movement, they're able to kind of do whatever they want in between them. Like we have Aldrin, shove him in a week, have him be involved in the story now to get him back in and set up for the next season. Or bring him back at the end of the season as the lead up to the next one.
Just have him be a better Cade. That's all I ask for.
Okay, well that wouldn't be hard.
Hmm.
Kate can't even do basic ad clear.
Yeah. All right. So, what did you guys think of the addition of random rolls on guns and gear?
Probably the worst decision they ever made.
Agreed.
Really?
Can we get back to year one, please?
Yep.
You're lying.
Only barely.
Would I lie to you?
I don't know. I feel like I made this question specifically so Face could argue against it, but I didn't think you would too.
It's the same thing that I thought would happen before we had random rolls happened once we got random rolls, and that is, it's not random rolls. It's just a longer grind time. Everyone wants the same rolls on the same guns, except for like a few different guns for PvP, which is what we had in year one, except that you knew where that gun was and you could go get that gun. I think there needs to be investment in guns, but I don't think that this was the way to do it.
Yeah.
I fully want a guns 2.0 like we're getting armored 2.0. Keep the guns how they feel and how they move, being individual to each gun, and like those aren't things you can change. So maybe you still got to grind out the right barrels and all that. But let us put our own perks on them. If you're a PvE player, you really don't want a primary with anything other than rampage or a damage buff and a reload buff. And all random rolls did was make it take a lot longer to get good PvE weapons.
I don't know, but can't you say that about any game?
No.
No?
Look at Fortnite.
Like you can grind, like you have to grind in WoW to get the stuff you want, and they have decently random rolls. But if I need this ring to get that item or these specific stats, I know where to go to get this. In this game, investment in weapons would be good, but this is just randomly farming for shit, which maybe some people like, and it's fun to play the game, but it's basically just static rolls, except it takes longer.
Yeah, but you're not guaranteed to ever get that roll.
And that's good because
then, like, why should everybody running the same things? Exactly the same things.
We're all going for.
I mean, you're absolutely right. We're definitely looking for.
So
the
you're
same
basically
rolls.
saying that instead of having people be able to earn the gun that they want, you just want it to be a time sink. And if you
but go
can't
back.
get the good gun, it's good because we shouldn't all just have the same gun.
Go back. What does this create? If you make everything static, what does this create for your game later on? If you get those guns, you're not gonna play to get guns anymore. What are you playing for?
Yeah, which is why you need a deeper investment system.
Yeah. I mean, if you do that, like, I'd be on board with it if there's a shit ton more guns.
That they'd have to do that so that there's more variety.
Even if we use the same variety, like,
you think so?
What's the one from the Mercury Forge, the Jack Queen King 3? That's a 150 archetype. And then the spare rations, like, we'll just compare those, even though they're one's kinetic, one's energy. Like, those are two vastly different guns in, like, looks and feel and all that. But if spare rations dropped with only one roll, and like that made it really good for like X build, and then the Jack Queen King was really good for Y reason, then that would be like a really good reason to like target those two weapons. And then if you really love hand cannons, you just move that along and try to get all the hand cannons, because X, Y, and Z, you know, you can come up with your own reasons.
The only good or the best thing that random rolls does is allow us more variety, but in the long run, it's just static rolls with more time.
Yeah, we're all just going for the same spare rations.
Now, that's mostly because this game has balance issues, which I might have mentioned previously. I don't know if I did, but
I think you did.
I don't think it's come up.
No, probably not.
Not today, but
the game's pretty balanced.
Damage perks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if? All right, so you get rid of these damage perks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, guns can truly be unique, right? It's not like you're looking for one roll. You might want several rolls now, because you don't have to worry about the damage on top of rolls. You know what I mean? So that's something they could do.
They could. They just need an investment system like they're doing with the armor. Let us choose what we want to put on the guns, but keep the guns feeling different based on stats like barrels. Those are inconsequential enough that for PvE players who just kind of want to dick around or are able to outplay that difference with their own skill, it doesn't matter. But for people who really want to grind it out, they can grind it out, just like the armor stats are going to be.
I agree.
Cool. I'm glad I brought this up. I didn't know both of you guys felt the same way. It's good.
You literally have, if you hate it, cough, cough, face, tell us why.
Yeah, because I know that's how you feel about it. I didn't know Legion was the same. That's good.
I didn't see that till just now.
We're just trying to bully you.
Nah, it's good content.
Why you bully?
All right, so I guess that's how we feel about the random rolls. Oh, look, Bucket said something there.
for those listening, Matt's gonna read what was.
No,
said.
I'm not gonna read it. I was just reading the chat, catching up. Sorry.
So Bucket points out how random rolls
So-
open up build variety for between
Oh.
PvP and PvE, which is good, but not there's just too many perks that are useless. So we could remove those to reduce some of the randomness or the grind. I'd just give us armor 2.0, but for guns.
I feel like they might go that route, like after Shadowkeep, dude. Especially with them
Well,
just.
actually, they kind of are with the seasonal artifact. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be kind of cool to see that all together.
Yeah.
How
that'll be
about
interesting.
how stupid it is that in year 3 you can get year 1 weapons, year 2 weapons, and year 3 armor?
I don't know what you mean by that. You mean
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all the
like-
different systems?
Yes. Like
Okay,
If
okay.
Like
you-
just
I see what you're
choose the
saying now.
system?
if
Yeah.
you run a levy raid,
Oh,
an
yeah.
old levy, you'll be getting the year 3 armor, but you'll be getting
Yeah.
a year 1 weapon, and if it drops a exotic weapon, that will be year 2.
That's a good point, actually.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know. Do you feel like they're just kind of ease us
Duh.
all in one direction?
That's why we need weapons 2.0.
Yeah.
You heard it here
Everybody
first,
ready to say?
folks.
You guys ready to
Entitled
say
whining gamers.
goodbye? Goodbye to your midnight coups then.
Midnight
It's
Coup's
still
a
a great
trash
gun.
gun, though. No, it's trash. You want a
Just 'cause
midnight
you have
coup?
good
Just
spare rations.
miss me with that, dude.
I don't
I
have.
do need some spare rations in my life.
Well,
Anyway,
in 9 days, you too can have a nice spare rations.
I think I'm back by then too, so that's great. So, did you guys enjoy the Last Wish raid?
It's
yeah.
probably the worst out of the ones we've gotten this year, though.
What? No way. The worst?
I don't know if he's being serious or not.
100%.
Over Scourge?
Dude, Scourge is better.
Scourge
No
is so
way.
boring, though.
I'm hurt.
But
Like-
it's like you can actually make your own fun out of it. You can speed run it. You can low man. Last Wish, what can you do?
I mean, I
You can do
enjoy,
3-mans.
I guess, like the atmosphere of it, like where it's at, the story behind it, the boss. Even though I've never done the boss legit.
Bam.
I like.
Have-
I like. it
Have you
quite
guys
a
ever
bit.
done it legit?
like
Oh,
How many times?
15 times, dude.
At least.
That's a lot of times.
About 15, probably.
How do you think
Yeah.
I got so many clears?
Not by doing it legit, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Wrong.
No, I remember back when. Oh man, that day one race was, quote unquote, day one race. It was really more like trying to get it done. Ever, please, thank you. We got stuck on Shuro because I scuffed up my leveling, and we had another person who was underleveled, and then we got to Riven, and we lost an entire night of progression because someone decided to go to bed right away. But all in all, the raid's fun. It takes too long. I don't like to run it that often.
Agree with you, Rex.
Scourge is just as boring though, but we'll talk about that next time. Last Wish though, we've recently been doing Vanguard testing, and we started off thinking we were going to do Petra's runs for Vanguard testing, and we quickly realized that did not work out that well because people die on the jumping parts, and it's like,
Okay.
I don't want to fail you for playing the game because you missed a weird jump in a tree. So we stopped doing that. But it's a decently complicated raid that is long enough that we get to see how well people perform. So it's really cool in that aspect. And the scope is amazing. It's huge. Really makes you feel like you're invading a city and killing a dragon. But
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
still
love
not
that.
as cool as Leviathan.
I don't know.
It's still not as cool.
I'm like,
as
unpopular
scooting
opinion.
around on a
I didn't
Willow.
love Leviathan. Coming from Destiny 1, Leviathan was weird
Yeah.
for Destiny 1 player.
There's no
But it was
dog
good.
encounter in Last Wish, so that instantly puts it below
You know,
Leviathan.
that's like voted one of the worst encounters, right?
I don't
Like
give
in
a
any
shit.
raid. I mean, you're entitled to like whatever you want, but I'm just saying, people hate that fucking encounter.
Well, most people are stupid. So
I mean, I don't hate the encounter. I think the raid is good. I just think it's so different from what they usually made in Destiny 1. Last Wish though, I thought had some of the better encounters in any raid. I think Shiro is one of the best raid encounters, like in any raid period, for an encounter.
Shiro
Keeps people
is
moving.
really fun.
Look,
Well,
Legion's not a fan.
the problem with it consistently, the problem with Shiro is that you keep pushing forward, which kind of invalidates some builds, like Sunspot Titan, and it only works for Well-Lock because there's so much super spam. Luckily, our
True.
whole power creep has gone up enough that even without those super spam exotics, we're still fine. So it's not bad. Vault is... it was decent when you could easily boop them into the room to skip that part, but now you got to be way more careful with that in order to do that. So, bleh.
Question though, just because it can't be sped up, why does it make that bad?
Because it means that a group that has no skill and a group that has a ton of skill are going to complete it in practically the same amount of time.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
It makes you feel like you're not being rewarded for being good at the game. You're sitting there for the exact same amount of time. There's no sense of progression. Take dogs, for instance. Back when I first started out doing it on PS4, before I learned all the pathing and everything, it would take us a few wipes, but it generally took us 2 to 3 tries to kill dogs with our double primaries and all that. But now, having played dogs a lot, I can get that thing done in like 45 seconds. Which feels way better than sitting there forever.
I could see both sides though, because some players just aren't interested in that. And I guess, you have your small audience that is interested in that, because it is a small audience.
The people who are... I suppose it doesn't affect people who are bad, because people who are bad probably aren't going to play it a lot.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I'm playing with pretty shit players on LFG, and even they agree first encounter is way too long.
First encounter.
There are some dum-dums.
Wait, what are we talking about? What encounters?
Encounters. We're talking encounters that cannot be sped up.
Okay. All right.
It just feels bad. It's
a big feels, man. Big feels bad, man.
I don't think anyone enjoys sitting in a raid encounter for longer, except for maybe the people who are going to do it a lot. But it just discourages me. Like Buck and I were talking again about how from now on Tuesday we're going to do Crown of Sorrows. As soon as we get past the first encounter, we're just going to nab a checkpoint and then never do the first encounter other than that one time we have to do it, because it's pointless and stupid and we don't really need the loot. So
might as well skip the second encounter too.
Yeah.
No, I get what everybody's saying. I just don't think that some people care about like the speed or time over the encounter itself. That makes sense. Like, I get where you're coming from. You guys are speed runners. You guys are going to want to get things done in a certain time, and that's obviously going to hold you back. There's a certain...
Well, see, I think it also discourages people from enjoying raids too, though. Because if you're a new player and you do the first encounter of Crown of Sorrows, and it just feels like you're never improving, the only place where you can speed up that raid is kind of at the end, a little bit. So, it always takes the same amount of time, and it's always kind of, this isn't that cool. But there's this sense when you're speeding through a raid, it's like, oh yeah, I'm good at this game. I enjoy playing this game. And then people might want to play it more. By making encounters that you can't speed up with good players, you're going to end up driving people away from raiding.
I feel like it's a tall order for them too, though. Because it's got to fucking be hard to make new encounters every raid.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like sometimes I feel like they're stuck doing something like this.
I don't know. I'm not asking for new content every week. I feel like designing raids that have some kind of mechanic that can speed it up, even just a tiny bit, even just like...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to vote?
Anyway. Wait, Legion, we aren't even arguing about anything.
That's fucking funny. All right, so last bit here. Don't list them all, but if you had to put Last Wish on your favorites list, what number would he get? Like, where would you rank it?
It would be above Scourge and above Eater, but below Crown and below Levy.
I'd put it a solid 6.
It's not as bad. I mean, how many raids are there, though? Like 10-ish? 9-ish?
It's up to you to decide if I'm going bigger number is better or bigger number is worse.
I would put it on my top, like, 4, I think.
Top 4 out of 5? It's a bold move.
No, out of all the raids.
It's a very good raid in its entirety, objectively. It's just...
It's what we needed at the time.
So if I was to say right now, pick a raid out of the 3 we have, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go run a full last
one. No, I have done 3 of those in the last week, and I'm done, thank you.
I've been trying to catch up to Face Legion, so I've been just doing Riven clears.
Yeah. Gay.
Says the guy that did like 30 in one day.
I haven't done any Riven clears.
You're lying!
I have not done any Riven only clears in
anyway
17 months.
It was like last week.
Negative Batman.
Who's Mike Peaks?
Prove it.
Mine?
Yeah, you should probably try out Bucket's headset, Mike.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I think it might be better.
Whatever. Yeah.
He's not mad about it, but he's mad about it.
I'm not mad about it. So let's do questions and answers.
Rex,
who's got some goodies for us?
What's our questions?
Do people have questions for us? No.
Rex can talk now. She's been untimed out.
Damn.
Oh, okay. So one of Rex's questions here is, how effective is farming Riven clears when you go AFK in your own clear?
It's pretty ineffective. That really hurts the raid report speed.
Taking shots,
speed
guys.
rank.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through the podcast. Jesus Christ.
It's a valid question.
Somebody DC'd, so I went to make some din. What do you want me to do? Like, I was sitting there waiting for him, so I was like, fuck it. I'm going.
Logical.
What do you want me to do?
Not that.
5-man it like a real champ.
Exactly. He didn't come back when I left. You don't know when I left because I sneaky left. So there's no way you knew when I exited from when he entered. Comprende? Yes, Rex. I'm sorry. I was making dents, like I said.
Okay.
Anyway, next question.
I have a question. Would you expect a Forsaken size expansion from Bungie every year?
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, you're wrong.
Even though it's been
Rise of Iron size
shown that they can't ever do that? I
would say yes. Why not?
How do you feel about content every week?
I mean, now we're getting crazy. But I think we're underestimating them. They're a really big studio. I think they could handle certain things. I guess maybe not the size of Forsaken, but the size of Rise of Iron would be fine.
Well, it looks like that's what we're gonna keep getting. I'd love to see more larger 100% ones.
Said that's the size of it.
Yeah, if we could get, I don't know. This is going to be Rise of Iron, but it looks like there's a lot of progression that we can actually do this time. So who knows? Maybe it'll have a better staying power.
Well, plus we do have the annual pass to look forward to, which I don't know. I think before Rise of Iron or after Rise of Iron, did we have like the biggest drought we've had in Destiny?
I don't think you guys got anything until the Triumphs shit.
So as long as that doesn't happen, like I think Forsaken was big because it needed to be really big at the time because the game was literally failing. So they came out with that. The annual pass happened. Obviously, the split with Activision happened. But now that they're on their own, I think they could do the annual pass in like a Rise of Iron size, like the Shadowkeep, I guess. This should
Even
happen
though they have
every year.
less sister development companies
Yes.
working with them.
They have a lot. I forgot what it was, but it was a massive number of people working in their office.
Rabbit always threw around 750.
Yeah, it's a lot of. It's not a small
But
studio.
they didn't have to make Crown of Sorrow.
It's also not a
They had
small
another
game.
team.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big game. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying it's easy to do what they do. I'm saying this is what I've come to expect now after playing Destiny for 5 years.
And
you only ever got
IT.
Forsaken twice.
Say that again?
And your years of IT experience.
My years of IT experience.
Okay, but
You heard it here
we've only
first.
ever had a Forsaken size thing twice. Once with the King's Fall and it's not what
Forsaken.
And Forsaken. So out
You're
of
right.
the 5 years, it's only happened twice. It's what you've come to expect.
Yeah. Chief.
Well,
I
actually,
mean, after. All right, so Destiny 2 launches, right? We get, I don't know when Osiris launched.
December.
But
December
so-
13th, I think.
So that's like a couple months after launch.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that shitty DLC. You get and then I know it was June.
May.
The other one launched May. There you go.
May 5th.
So they're clearly able to make content, and those two pieces of content were more meaty than like one piece of an annual pass would be. Correct?
Not really. Osiris was pretty shit.
Yeah, I know. That's when I stopped playing Destiny during that time. But Warmind was pretty chunky.
Yeah,
From
but
what I remember.
they had outside help making
Yeah.
Warmind. See, what they're doing with Shadowkeep here, though, is we're getting a Rise of Iron size expansion, but then we're also getting a season on top of it. Season of the Undying is separate from whatever from
But they're
Shadowkeep,
not.
which is going to be really interesting. I really hope
That's really cool.
they continue to. They need to keep using whatever happens on the moon. Like that content needs to come back in their seasons, so that it's not just here's the moon and your nightmare haunts, and okay, just keep doing them over and over and over. Okay, my mic is not weak sauce; it's a headset mic.
It's pretty weak sauce, man. He's saying me because it peaked a couple times. I just gotta toggle that a little bit.
Anyway,
Fondle it.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have.
Any more questions?
See you guys next week, huh?
No, we won't see you next week.
No, the week after.
Next week I might try and force Bucket to get like a stream of Vanguard raid or something.
Do it.
Oh, no,
Just hit me up for the
Pasta
Choking.
and Rex have an announcement that they will be making soonish, so we might actually have content for next week.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
That would be really cool if you guys did something like that, for sure.
We're gonna have one of the three owners in a dunk tank live. No hints, but one of the three of us will not be here.
It's me. So yeah, we're gonna end the show now.
Spoilers. Spoilers. It's Matt.
It's over. It's over. You can find a link to our Discord down below, and our YouTube as well, clan Twitters, and our individual Twitter handles as well. We're not gonna be here next week, guys, so please don't come. I know we're super popular now, you know. September 15th is our return date at 8 p.m. Wait, what's this? 100 subs and we'll dunk, man. That's fine. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. So thanks, guys, for stopping by. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Big pop.
Later.
Yeah.
Big pop.
Welcome to a place similar to hell. All right.